All right. Welcome to February, everyone.
Yes,
I feel like
February.
January went by way too fast. And so let's kick off this meeting like we normally do with just introductions. So I will go last, but I'm just going to call people out from the order I see them in my screen. So Mariana, do you want to go first?
Yes, I'm Mariana Borelli. I'm a 2007 alum, and I'm a past Alumni Council president.
All right, Robin, you next.
My name is Robin. I'm a 2022 alum, currently at UMass Amherst.
Great. Deb?
Hi, I'm Deb Grady, class of 1992. I'm sorry, 1990. I've been at MassBay since 1992. I work in the Vice President's Office for Finance.
Great. Luz?
Hello, everyone. Luz Castro. I work in the admissions office, and I didn't graduate from MassBay, but I took some classes at MassBay.
All right, Keith?
Hello, my name's Keith. I graduated with Nathan in May of 2022.
All right, Dan, you're up.
Okay, Dan O'Neill, class of 2000, and this year's Boston Marathon participant.
Yes.
Great, good for you.
All right, and last but not least, Mr. Nathan Persampieri.
Yes, sorry. I'm in the middle of eating. I have back-to-back meetings as
You're
Keith
okay.
and I always do. But as Keith said, I graduated with him in May of 22, and now I'm at Merrimack College. Hope to graduate this spring. Good to see everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so the next thing that we have on our agenda, which I'll put up on the screen in just a minute, is the results of the elected alumni trustee vote. So we had an anonymous panel of alumni vote, around 10 alumni vote, out of our 11 amazing candidates. I was overwhelmed and just shocked and so grateful for the response that we've had from the alumni community who were interested in being on the board of trustees as an alumni representative. And I'm happy to say that the majority of the vote went to Alfonso Hidalgo. So Alfonso is our elected alumni trustee. We are still waiting to hear who the appointed alumni trustee will be. And the appointed alumni trustee is appointed by the governor. So if you didn't get this elected position, that doesn't mean that you're still not in the running. We're still waiting to hear who's going to get that appointed position. So I wanted to thank everybody for their participation, and I'm really excited for the response. So honestly, that response gives me hope for starting back up the Alumni Council. So I am going to share the results of this elected alumni trustee vote, and then I'm also going to be setting up a meeting about getting, kind of getting the band back together, getting the council back in going. All right, Deb, you have your hand up?
I do. I just want to add that I reviewed all the candidates very carefully, and it was a really tough crowd. They were excellent candidates. Congratulations to Alfonso. I'm sure you'll do a great job when you see this. But the candidates were phenomenal, and I wish we could have elected them all. And I sincerely hope that they'll be involved in the council when we get together.
Hi, Sabrina. So
Hi,
we just
Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina. Nice to see you.
You do.
So we started just a second ago, but if you want to introduce yourself, Sabrina, and then we also just revealed that Alfonso won the elected alumni trustee vote. We do not know who's the appointed alumni trustee going to be yet, but no one's out of the running yet. So that's just completely out of my area. And I can only give a wholehearted recommendation of the list of people who came forward as, all of our candidates. But Sabrina, do you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I work in career services as a program coordinator of the multicultural mentor program.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabrina. All right. So next on the agenda, drum roll, is our spotlight speaker, Mr. Dan O'Neill, who's also our marathon runner. So Dan, if you just want to, talk to us about who you are, about your time at MassBay, where have you been since then, and
Sure.
all of the projects you're working on.
Sure. So I started my college out of high school. I graduated high school in 1990, came to MassBay, and was not really ready for college when I got here. I changed majors after my first semester from early childhood to paralegal. And then basically, I didn't qualify for financial aid, so I was doing a lot of part-time jobs, a lot of retail type of jobs that were really like dead-end jobs, but just to try to pay for classes. And so it was kind of off and on for a few years. And as we were starting to get into the late 90s, I was starting to really think about, well, I have to do something with my life. I can't continue this cycle. So at the time, I was working in a bookstore called Buck-a-Book. It was, if anybody remembers the old Building 19, it was. It ended up being. It was part of Building 19 initially. Then it kind of branched out on its own. And so I was a manager at the bookstore, and a friend of mine had a job delivering flowers at the local flower shop, and he was leaving that job to go to the post office. And he said, this job would pay you a little bit more money if you wanted to try to go back to school. And I said, you know what? Well, I'll explore it. So I went and I talked to the owner, and she basically made me a deal. She says, you go back to school and you finish your degree, and I'll make it flexible that you can go back, because you can't work here forever. This isn't a forever job. And so basically I went back. I worked for her for about 3.5 years, and in 2.5 years, I went back to school halfway through the school year that year, and basically finished in 5 semesters and got my associates in 2000. And I worked for her for another year until I found my forever career. And basically what happened is I graduated with a paralegal degree, but because I didn't have any work experience, I was just kept getting denied. I'd have interviews, they just wouldn't go anywhere. And so I interviewed for a position for DMH to be a paralegal. And the interview went well. They said, well, you don't have the experience we need to be a paralegal, but would you give payroll a try? And so 23 years later, I've worked 22 years for the Executive Office of Health and Human Services as a payroll clerk, and then a payroll processor, and then I was a supervisor. Now I work for the state payroll team at the Office of the Comptroller. So I've been there just a little over a year now. And it's a new adventure for me, new experience, learning a lot of new skills. And, I've done a lot. I've gotten to have a lot of great life experiences, and it all started with an associate's degree at MassBay Community College. So when they say "start here, go anywhere," I really believe that slogan, because for me personally, I've gotten, because of MassBay, I own my own home, which is not easy to do in Massachusetts these days.
Oh, trust me, Dan, I'm trying.
And it wasn't easy to do either, believe me. but you know, I've gotten the chance to I ended up with Celtics season tickets. I've had those for 23 years. I got them when I got the job. Without the college, without the job, I don't have those. Don't have a home, and at least a home I can call my own. And I got through that. I ended up joining a gym that basically changed my life because I started getting into long distance running. I was doing 5Ks and stuff because I ran in high school, and I kind of got out of running when I left high school, and then I kind of fell in love with it again and gave it another go. And you know, I got some good training and at the gym I joined, and I ended up losing 64 pounds in 4 months in 2016 and running my first Boston Marathon for Perkins School for the Blind, as my nephews are students there. And I've run Boston. I finished Boston 2 more times. I've actually run it 4 times. This will be number 5 for me. And I've run the Marine Corps Marathon twice. So I've gotten to travel a little. I've gotten to do some stuff I wouldn't have ever gotten to do. I've written, I wrote a children's book about my 2016 race and what led up to it. And as it turns out, I was the first person to ever write a children's book that was a Boston Marathon story. I beat Dave McGilvery by 1 year. He's a lot more famous than I am, and I know Dave, he's a great guy. But yeah, I beat him by 1 year by self-publishing that book. So and I just released a book of short stories and poems about 2 months ago. So I tried something a little bit different this time out, and then I have another 2 children's books coming at some point. I'm waiting for illustrations to be finished on one, and I'm in the process of writing another. And on top of that, I serve on a committee in my town. We have a traffic advisory committee where we do traffic studies and see how we can improve traffic flow and try to prevent speeding, things like that. And I also am on an elected board, the Commission of Trust Funds in Dedham. And we basically decide what we do with money that's been trusted to the town. A lot of the work we do is like scholarships for the high school kids, you know, and certain other items like furniture, money for furniture for our senior center that we just opened a few years ago. And we're still trying to sort that out. And then we give to a couple of local charities as well. So they come and they give us a presentation every year, and then we decide how much money will be allotted to them. And it's an interesting process, but I learned a little bit about that other end and how the money is invested. And so it was very interesting. So it's something I really didn't know much about. And so, you know, now I know a little bit more about it than I did before. So yeah, the school has allowed me to be able to do a lot of different things that I never imagined I would be doing, that I never imagined having the confidence to do. And it all started at MassBay Community College. And, you know, I couldn't be happier for the experience, because not only that is the school taught me how to think. I love the fact that they make you take a critical thinking class before you graduate. I think the ability to critically think is just so vital in this day and age. And I use it in my own career, but also the paralegal skills. You do a lot. It teaches you how to think, like almost investigating stuff, and to do the work that I do in trying to solve problems. And a lot of the stuff I do is numbers and trying to solve problems and trying to figure out why something is off. It all stems from what I learned at MassBay. It taught me so many different skills from an associate's degree. It surprises me sometimes, but it's just amazing. I really appreciate the education that I got, and I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to give back a little bit this year and to be able to run the marathon for the school, and to try to raise some money for the financial aid, because I think the kids really need it. I'm really happy that the junior colleges have the Reconnect program. My nephew Eddie just started back at MassBay. He's taking courses remotely part-time for now, just to try to ease himself back in. So far, so good. He just started, so I think they've only been at it for about a week or two, but he seems to be taking to it, which I think is terrific. I'm happy he went back because he was like me. He went when he graduated, and I don't think he was quite ready, but he kind of took a longer journey back to it than I did. So, but I'm happy he's back there. I think it's the best thing for him. I think it'll be the best experience he can have going back and giving MassBay another go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Dan.
Of
We
course.
are
Thank you.
finally, thank you for running. Thank you so much for running in the marathon. I it's a lot of running. I
Yeah.
give you and everybody who runs in the marathon or does that long distance running like just so many kudos because it's a tough go.
It is a tough go. That's a tough race.
Mm-hmm. So we are finishing up Dan's Give and Gain page. So Give and Gain is what the marathon uses to collect funds that are being raised. So once that is good to go, I'm going to be sending that out to everybody. So share it if you're interested. And all the money goes towards our student scholarships. So it's a really great cause, and we're so excited. We're also hopefully going to be getting details about Birmingham's Marathon Fest. So we were at, I was at and Luz, were you at Marathon Fest? Deb, were you at Marathon Fest? Were you
Yeah.
there? Well, I was there and it was raining last year. But it was a lot of fun. It was in like the parking lot of Jack's Abbey. When everyone's like running the marathon, like you can track them from their bib number on the app. So we were able to see like where Liz Cooper, our employee and runner from last year, like where she was on the course, and we were able to all go out on the line and like wave and say hi and give her hugs and just like congratulate her like as she was running by through Framingham. So once we get details on that, I'll share that with everybody as well. But does anybody have any questions for Dan?
Not a question, but a comment. I think Keith and I did that, if I'm not mistaken, not last year, but a couple of years ago. We parked like right by like a church or something in Wellesley. And it was a lot of fun. I think we were there with Karen, and I forgot who the Dustin ran that year. So
Cool. I know that sounds fun. I know that people try to go and like sit in MassBay's like grass area right on Route 9 because it goes right past there as well. So I know that we have a fancy like electric sign out in front of the Wellesley campus now. So I know that they have like things on there like "Go Liz Go," and then this year it's gonna be "Go Dan Go." So it's just gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, so thank you, Dan, for being our spotlight speaker. And now we're gonna kind of go into the rest of my little agenda here, which Acrobat is not responding, but it's okay because it's paused on what I need. Can you guys see this? See the upcoming events tab? Did I lose you guys?
No, we can't see you. We can't see the agenda. Oh, now we can.
There it comes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So, biggest upcoming event that is happening this Saturday, if you guys are not aware by now, the alumni basketball game is on Saturday. So everyone who goes is going to be getting a little rally towel like this so everyone can cheer on the alums. And then later in the afternoon, our varsity team, if you guys want to stay a lot of the day, it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be so much fun. We have around, and then Dan, you're going to play too, right? I signed you up for that. You got that email?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
So Dan will also be getting this little signature basketball. So I'm going to have Sharpies available so all of the guys who are playing can like have a basketball, have signatures, and just like have a nice little memento of the day as well. We had a lot of interest for the basketball game, which is fantastic. So much interest that we're actually going to have 2 games in that morning time. So the first game is going to start at 9. The second game is going to start at 10. The guys will get their game assignments when they come and check in that morning. And then from 11 to noon, the players are going to go and have like a little bit of a lunch just to like calm down and like, get rested. And then from starting at 12, our men's varsity team is playing against Roxbury Community College. So it's just going to be a fun day. If you guys can go, please try to. It's going to be at Mount Ida's College. So technically it's the UMass Amherst campus at Mount Ida, because Mount Ida itself is not a separate college anymore. But since we only have a half court here on the Wellesley campus, Mount Ida is where our basketball team plays their home games. So that's technically our home court. If you guys want to volunteer, Mariana, I know that you said that you wanted to volunteer. If you guys want to volunteer, please get there around 8 or whenever you can. I will definitely find something for you to do. It should be a really good day. There's going to be a lot of people there. I've gotten emails from probably over 70 alums interested in playing and interested in just being at the event. So it should be a really fun morning this Saturday. Does anyone have any questions about the alumni basketball game? All right. Next is the Babson Financial Literacy Series. So this is a series that happens every semester, provided by Babson College, which is right down the road. This is actually a series that is put together with student development, but alums are welcome to join and participate. This flyer was also available on the monthly alumni announcement that came out last week. If anyone did not get the alumni announcement, please send me an email or put something in the chat with your email and I'll make sure you get it. But yeah, there's a bunch of fun topics that are going to be covered. So like tips and tricks for managing your credit, building financial plan for college, making your student loans work for you, understanding your paycheck. Those are all on Tuesdays and they're from 11 to noon. And then something else that's happening that I was hoping and was planned for tomorrow night and next week, but needs to be rescheduled. So we have a great partnership with Amy Wartzman. She's a VP over at Eastern Bank, and she's also going to be doing a more crafted toward our alums evening webinar series about financial literacy and about first-time home buying and like a couple other topics that we're going to, send out a survey and like get more feedback from you guys, but we're going to start off with 2 and then we're going to see what we can do from there, just for like a more accessible like evening, hopefully after work kind of time for some alums. Campus tour of the new Framingham campus. I was hoping to have it be done this month, but because the ribbon cutting got pushed back a little bit, and now that the semester started, I just have to wait until I get the okay to bring other people in. I don't know why my tabs go from upcoming events A, B, C, and then G and H, but H is the networking and headshot event that I'm working with our Director of Career Services, Julie Ginn, on. So I'll have more details about that, but save the date for April 11th. We're going to have a photographer, and we're hoping to get a second one for headshots, professional headshots, and then a networking opportunity that's going to be on campus. So I will send out all of the details as they, come to me and get solidly planned to you guys in the alumni announcements. But if you guys have any questions, just send me an email. Just, hey, what's up? Hey, what's in the stream? And I'll let you guys know what's going on. Does anybody have any questions about those upcoming events? I'm like scrolling through the little screens of you guys to make sure I'm not missing any hands. All right, and then volunteer opportunities, so alumni basketball game, which I just talked about a little bit, and then we also have our great mentor programs, and Sabrina actually runs the multicultural mentor program like she mentioned earlier. So if anybody is interested in the Multicultural Mentor Program, we have a Business Mentor Program, STEM Mentor Program. We're hoping to start a Auto Tech Mentor Program to help that program out there over in Ashland, which is just, that's like one of my favorite places to go and visit because it's just such a unique program that we offer. And then, so yeah, if anyone is interested in those, please feel free to reach out. There's always things going on. Sabrina, is there anything that you want to add to this about the Multicultural Mentor Program?
No, no, but I'm going to put my email in the chat so everyone has it.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabrina. All right. And then, yeah, for some reason, Adobe's not responding. So I'm going to stop sharing, bring me back to you guys. And the last thing I have is that the next alumni meeting is Tuesday, March 5th. So yeah, that's the first week of March. There's lots of stuff going on. If anything pops up in the meantime between now and the next alumni announcement, I will let you guys know. And this meeting ended, or no, it's not ending, but this meeting, we'll go as long as we need to. But for now, it's kind of open forum. So if there's anything that you guys have questions on, anything that you guys want to talk about, feel free.
Well, I actually have to jump off, but I want to congratulate Dan. What a great presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for doing this. It's going to benefit our students a lot. And let your nephew know he only needs 6 credits to be an alum.
Yep.
Okay.
It's nice to see you all.
Nice to
Stay
see you
safe.
too.
Nice to see you, Deb. Thanks for coming.
I'll see you in March.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
It was a great meeting. Thank you so very much. It was my first meeting and I really, really enjoyed. So hopefully I will attend it again. It's a lot to learn and it's so wonderful for the students. I would love to be part of the multicultural mentoring program and be involved in more events. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming, Luz.
Nice to meet you all.
Yep, nice
Good
to meet you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Dan. That was great. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, if there's nothing else that we need to go over, we covered everything on my agenda. It's a pleasure seeing all of you. It's great seeing, some new faces. Like this is for like Luz's first time coming to the meeting. It's great to see Robin put a face to the name, like I said earlier. And we're hopefully gonna be seeing more of everybody. Please come to these meetings. And yeah, so any last minute things that anyone wants to say, anything anyone wants to comment on, anything going on?
Thank you, Sydney, for everything.
Yes, thank you, Sydney.
You're welcome, guys. Happy to do it.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Night.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye.